the champ of the mic owns the night. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the Brilliant One. He's the man.
Welcome into the Brilliant Show. What is up, Steve D? What is up? We got a very special guest coming up. I'm going to just go ahead and clear the air. The Facebook has been suspended. I don't know why. Somebody reported something or whatnot, but it's been suspended. It's in appeal right now, so hopefully you can't even find it on Facebook. I don't know what was up with it, but we're going to find out. Hopefully we'll get something back going on Facebook. Right now we're going to do the YouTube and get it set up. But we're going to bring in our guest here in just a second. Before we do that, you can also listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, Audible, and many, many more. Remember to give us that 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. We definitely need it. And then check us out on Brainbuster Tees at brainbustertees.com. The Brilliant Show. Get you a Brilliant Show shirt, hat. Support the podcast because we're going to try to get back up on Facebook soon. I don't know what happened with that, but we're gonna get to it. And it probably was somebody I made cry. There's no doubt, Steve D. It was probably somebody I made cry. I'll go with that. But without further ado, let's bring in one of the top rising stars. I mean, this kid, I've enjoyed watching him just tear it up. He's very new to the scene, but man, he is taking names. He is taking to the limit. Let's bring in Leo Riot, the best Riot of them all. Leo Riot. What's going on, Leo?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. I was just talking about the Facebook being down and how the Brilliant Show was really starting to get up.
Yeah.
And then and then somebody had to cry and probably reported a post and whatnot. But man, like let me ask you this right off the bat. How long since your first official match? How long has it been since your first official match?
September of last year. So it hasn't been a year yet.
You hadn't even got to a year. Are you joking me?
No,
Come on.
Sir. September.
Wow.
I think I honestly think I'm just now getting up on like a year of training.
What? You
Yeah.
hadn't even been in the business a year. You're just now coming up on your 1-year anniversary from starting training.
Yeah. Seriously training. We trained a lot as kids, but seriously training, taking it serious, I'm probably coming up on a year now.
Man, that's impressive. Because, like, look, I knew when you made your debut, but when you made your debut, I was out of wrestling at the time. I had taken my break and got out, and I kept up with a little bit of it. And then when I came back, I think it was March when I came back, made my return to the GCW, was chilling there, and one weekend didn't have nothing to do, and I was just like, I'm going to ride over to Battle Zone. I'm going to check out Battle Zone. I hadn't seen some of the guys over there in forever because I had not been to – that was the first Battle Zone show that I've been to because the last one that I was on was 3 years ago. All right, so that was my first time at Battle Zone in 3 years. We used to run in Raleigh and the Braxton Fire Department, stuff like that. So y'all are in Mendenhall, which is a nice little building. Love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that night, I came over to Mendenhall, packed house, and I got to see the opening match, which was you and Frankie Thomas. And that was my first time seeing you live. It was actually my first time seeing a full match of yours. And, dude, Frankie's great in the ring, and you and him had one heck of a match. What was it like being in the ring with Frankie and in that opening match? Because y'all stole the show that night.
I will say, so I grew up, of course, around wrestling, Battle Zone, used to be in McGee probably 10 years ago, way back. And I've always watched them growing up. Plenty of people that, still wrestle now that I'm getting in the ring with. I was a little kid watching them. So, You know, it's like a life circle whenever I stepped in the ring with him and a lot of other people too, you know. But that match specifically, it really like he boosted my confidence. You know, he helped me a lot. He I will say carried that match. I mean, from just slowing down and getting the crowd involved, it it wouldn't have been what it was without him there. You know, I will give him that credit and plenty of more credit. You know, he like I said, I've been watching him since I was a little kid, so it was really an honor stepping in there with him.
I mean, it definitely, like I said, it stole the show that night, but that wasn't the only part of the show you was involved in. The tag team championship match, I think it was the Desperados taking on the Hosies. Desperados win. Now, I had not been to the previous shows, so I do not know what y'all won to get a contract for that. But y'all did end up winning the Battlezone Tag Team Championships that night. Kind of explain to the listeners, like, what show and how did y'all get the contract to do that?
So it was um against the other two Riots. Me and Eric Black, the Lost Cause, we took them on in a ladder match for a contract that we could cash in anytime we want to, and we just seen the opportunity, so we took it. It was the month before the show before we won the contracts, and then we came out. Once they won, you know, we really didn't care who it was. The Hosies, Desperados, we knew what we were playing, and right after that match, we came in and got the belt.
And y'all did. Y'all come in, stormed in, took the tag team title. Steve D, who was your first match against and how nervous were you?
So my first match was actually against my tag team partner right now, Eric Black. I was very, very nervous, but he did help train me, so it loosened everything up. I was comfortable in there with him. I knew I was safe. He was gonna take care of me, so I was nervous, but he really helped me out a lot.
Yeah, Eric Black. That's a name. That's a name I can't forget. He was a member of my faction, Brilliant Incorporated, for about 30 seconds, but until he turned his back on us. But yeah, Eric, another vet, been around, been very associated with the Riot family and
Oh yes.
the year, and so being trained by Eric, having your first match with Eric, to now where you're at with Lost Cause, with Micah, you and Eric. How did the Lost Cause kind of come together? Because I know Eric. I've known Eric for a long time, and I know how manipulative he can be.
I wouldn't say that. No, I will say this. I had my first match with Eric Black. After the match, he had Hayden Seal, which is another young and rising,
Yep.
talent. He had Hayden Seal come out and attack me, and I, you would expect your older brother, your nephew, to be there to help you, and they weren't. And then I go on the battle zone and I face Hayden Seal, and he has Eric Black in his corner, and no help, no help my way. I have no Sammy Riot, no Paul Riot, nobody's helping me. And Eric, he came to me, and it didn't take much convincing. It was have nobody, which is what I have, um, or have him, and he's helped me a lot more.
I'm gonna just say this: you should never trust a Riot. The only Riot I trust is Leo Riot. I wouldn't trust Sammy Riot no further than I can throw him, or Paul either. They
Look,
have
I
never.
thought they had my back. I did.
No. You gotta learn something about the Riots, man. Let me go ahead and. I know you. I know they're your brothers, and you know all that family stuff. But let me just tell you something. Paul Riot and Sammy Riot, those two look out for themselves and themselves only. They don't
Yes.
care. They probably blamed you for what happened to you when it wasn't your fault. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But they're going, oh, did that. But guess what? Guess what they've got now? They got the Battle Zone Tag Team Championships, and I wonder why they got it, huh? You know, in my opinion, they cheated you.
Very well. Very well did. If you watch the end of that match, I had two people pinning me. Two people. That's what it took. You know, that's what it took there. It's two people to pin me. The
Well,
whole match. The whole match. Just cheating the whole match. That's all it is. That's all they can do. All they can do.
well, I saw some clips, you know, on Facebook before it got suspended, but I saw a bunch of clips, and Sammy Riot, he's a sneaky one. You know, he tries to play this. Oh, I'm such a good boy kind of person,
Right.
but I saw him cheat that whole match.
Me too. Me too. I seen it. I seen it. I
They,
felt it. I felt it the whole match. Just cheating.
now they treated you kind of like the black sheep of the family, right?
They did.
Like they push you out to the side. All right. So I know that wrestling's been in your blood. You grew up in the wrestling business. So you've been around it since the day you was born. But while you were growing up, who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? Like who did you really inspire you to become a wrestler?
So of course, you know, my brother, I will say this. He more than anybody, you know, that's what got me into wrestling was just going to watch him. As far as like WWE and things like that, it was always Jeff Hardy. That was always my go-to. But actually, when I really got into wrestling was the match Simon Phillips and Sammy Ryan. I watched them whenever they went against each other. Um, and I mean, after that match, I started training. You know, it made me want to start wrestling. So that would be what really made me want to start going.
Steve D wants to know, did they always treat you that way before you started wrestling? Like, did your brothers always like kind of treat you as the outcast, the black sheep of the family?
Yes, always. You know, always from a little kid to now, even now. You know, it's always been like this. I just had to, you know, really pay attention to it. I had to see it for how it really was. And then you see what I done. I mean, I started winning as soon as I left them alone. That
Yeah.
was, you know, that was the
Well, they were
answer to
holding you down.
everything.
They were
I
holding
mean,
you down. They
very
they don't
simple,
care about you, man.
right? I believe that.
I mean, Eric Black kind of took you in. He's took you under his wing.
Yep,
And I'm sure he's probably treated you better than the Riots ever treated you.
way better, way better. You know, I get to sit at home with this.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's the
because
Lost
of
Art of Wrestling Tag Team Championships, the first ever Tag Team Champions is the
yes,
Lost Cause. And y'all ended up beating the Riots for that championship.
yep, easily. Because what if they don't cheat, you see what happens. You
Mm.
know, you
Well,
know
here's the thing. You know, you talk about how they treated you, how they didn't have your back. If I'm not mistaken, I was there that night. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw Paul just roll out of the ring, kind of leave Sammy out there by himself.
I'll tell you why he rolled out. I gave Paul Riot a knee to the eye. If you look at Paul Riot right now, his eyes
Oh, yeah, that
black,
eyes closed.
yellow. You know, I mean, very easy for me to just get him out the ring and beat Sammy. You know,
And that's what happened. And y'all became the first ever Lost Art of Wrestling Tag Team Champions. And I think y'all got a long reign ahead of you.
I
Let's
see
see
it.
what Steve D says. I think I know what you need, Leo. Brilliant guidance. Yeah. But look at this way, Leo's got a good manager too. And Michael Wolf, I want you to kind of explain a little bit about Micah and talk
So,
about how he came into the Lost Cause.
so Michael is really our stepping stone at LAW because he was a commissioner there for LAW. He was part owner of LAW, and he actually just you know seen seen it for how it was. Paul Riot, Sammy Riot, they're no good. So of course Michael Wolf is going to join us. It makes sense, and he's with winners. He's with winners. He doesn't have to stay around Paul and Sammy and be around losers. That's all it
Exactly.
was. You know,
You don't want to be around losers. I mean,
very simple.
especially Riot losers. But
Right.
I rank the Riots this way: Leo number 1, Paul number 2, and Sammy number 3. Now, when I say them two, number 2 and 3, they're pretty much close to each other. So they're pretty much tied for third. I wouldn't even put a Riot in second, but that's just me talking.
I understand. Hey, I'm one though. When it comes to us, I've always been number one.
That's right.
It's hard for
I mean,
them to accept that, but it's just the truth.
well, see what they do is, and I'll get to your next question, STD. But what it is they see the potential. They see that you're going to be successful. They see that you're going to go above and beyond what they've become, and you're going to be the star of the family. And I think that irks them a little bit. And I think that's why they try to hold you down, is because they know you're better.
Right. They don't like it. They
No,
can't stand to see me winning.
no,
They
they
don't
can't
like they
stand
don't like
nobody
the
taking their
success.
spotlight. They can't
So
stand anybody taking their spotlight whatsoever. And that's what they see you're doing,
oh
because
yeah.
they know that you're a rising star
Yep.
and their star's burning out.
They can't accept it. It's always been like that. So hey,
It's jealousy, like Stephen D says.
right.
As your first year wraps up, what has been some of your most memorable moments in wrestling?
So of course, stepping away from kayfabe a little bit. Oh, in my opinion, it's always gonna be Sammy and Paul being in there with them. I've had one-on-ones with them and tag matches with them. And that, I mean, just stepping in the ring, it's like a growing up moment. You see your family right next to you, and we've wrestled our whole life growing up. On trampolines, backyard ring that we had. We had a ring in our backyard growing up, so it felt good to do it in front of people and do it with them.
Yeah, because I remember seeing Paul working with y'all on the screen a lot,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and like he'd put videos, especially during COVID. He would put videos up, and I would see Sammy out there. Because Sammy, I remember seeing first time I saw Sammy, I think he was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
I
He
can't
started
remember.
really on.
Yeah, he did, and he's done a lot of great things. Now, I know Paul and I know Sammy, and I love making my post on Facebook until it got suspended. But it is sort of a huge rush. I'm sure I can tell you that it is a huge rush.
Oh yeah.
Once you walk through that curtain, that's a rush, man. You're in an adrenaline pumping city at that point. But like I get with Paul, make some posts on Facebook about AEW, just to rattle the cages a little bit. But what's your favorite? Is AEW your favorite to watch on TV?
Dude, I'll be honest. I watch either one. I keep up with WWE. I keep up with AEW. I'm not really. I just like to watch it. Some matches on WWE I don't watch. I don't like to watch them, and same thing with AEW. So
Yeah, I mean, me, I don't get to watch as much as I used to now. Um, but I did yesterday for the first time ever. Just sit down and I watched Worlds Collide and I watched Money in the Bank from start to finish on both of them, because I just didn't have nothing to do last night after the birthday party and stuff, and I watched it. And man, Worlds Collide to me was really good. I enjoyed Worlds Collide, and then Money in the Bank was not a bad show either. It was a good show too, with R-Truth coming back, or Brian
yeah,
Killens whatever you're going to go with on that. But I can't say that I've watched AEW in so long. Like I did try to watch it one Wednesday night, but I had been up since like 3:30 in the morning. I think it was the night that Paul and all of them were in New Orleans is when I tried to watch it, and I fell asleep 45 minutes in, dude, but I'd been up since like 3:30 that morning, so I was really tired. But
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I really don't watch a whole lot of it, but I do keep up with it on social media and everything. But
yeah, I swear I usually keep up with it on social media too, but
yeah.
my Facebook account's been suspended. But I got other things and check it out. But yeah, getting into that, it's hard to watch wrestling now. I like to watch the old school stuff. I'll go back and watch some good old school stuff. But you go into Battle Zone last night and let the Riots, cheat you out of a win. And now Sammy and Paul are running around with their belts and they're happy and they're just parading them around. What's your thoughts? And what did Eric think? What was Eric's thoughts last night after the loss?
I mean, our thoughts are just simply they don't deserve it. They just don't deserve it. They cheated us out of our belts. They should not be champions. I mean, it's very simple. I just don't think they deserve it. We both were pretty, pretty much the same on that. They don't deserve it. We know they cheated us. That's what happened. They were just trying to rip my mask off the whole time. Like,
Yep, that's cheating. That is cheating. They're doing it as a distraction tool, and
yep,
they talk about they don't cheat. They do it fair by the rules, but that's not true. I mean, I've
right.
seen them cheat many times. Steve D, what else you got to ask? I know you got a few other things in the chamber because you've seen Paul and Sammy both wrestle. I know you had. I don't know if you've seen Leo yet because you hadn't been to a show in a while, but this is the number one Riot. He has stepped up. Dude's got it, and enjoy watching him. So as we get a little bit further, you talked about McGee, Mississippi as well, being your hometown, and you actually play football, right?
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Now, was that the year that they went to the state championships, or
Yes sir. I don't know where my ring is, but I do have a state championship ring.
oh wow, look at that! What's up, Kenny? Ask questions if you want to. I thought Paul retired in the first phase of DCW. He did, but he's back now with Lost Art of Wrestling, and they've been going strong now. I think I want to say 2 years,
Yeah,
almost 2 years,
yeah.
almost 2 years back. Yeah, it has to be because I was running
Paul.
AWA when
So
Paul came
Paul
back.
did. He hasn't. He's came back fully now. He's taken a couple more bookings and everything. Um, but I mean, just his first match back was actually my debut night. So September, I believe, like the 28th.
Yeah,
He wrestled Jeremiah, and I made my debut. So he's been back since September also. So it's almost been a full year that he's been pretty much full time at it.
I look forward to seeing Leo in action. Oh yeah, you're gonna be impressed when you see Leo in action. But Leo also going back to the state championship. What was it? 4A, 5A? What's the
We
division?
played. So we played 3A. We were
3A,
3A. We
3A.
played
Okay.
Knoxville County.
Ooh,
I think
that's
we
a
beat
tough one.
them. Yeah, no, they were definitely pretty good. I want to say we beat them like 49-22 or something like that.
Yeah, usually Knoxville's got a really good team. They send a lot of
Yeah.
people to like Mississippi State and whatnot. We my niece goes to Clarkdale and they played in the state championship in baseball just a few weeks ago and they blew it. They had the game won and they straight up blew it out of the water.
So I actually I went to college for football also.
Kenny
I went to
said
Clarksdale.
Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Uh, Kenny Atkinson says, "Hey Brandon, what's going on, Kenny? Nice to meet you, Leo."
What's
Uh,
up, man?
So you were way up north Mississippi then, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I only went up there for a couple months, and I left, came back home, and just started working. But I was up there at Kahoma Community College,
Yeah.
and I was kicking and punting there. But I left and came back home. But the probably the coolest thing about the whole experience with college, my football coach was Terrence Metcalf, which
Oh
is
wow.
DK Metcalf's dad.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, man. Kenny wanted to know how long you've been wrestling. We went over this a little bit, Kenny, but go ahead, Leo, and kind of just refresh him.
September of last year. That's when I made my debut.
So he's not
Yeah.
even been in it a year, and he's already creating waves uh, all over the independent scene right now. And man, like I said, I enjoy watching you and being able to get one of those state championship rings, though, man. That's something that eluded me.
Oh yeah. It was definitely an experience. It was fun. We played at Jackson State that year, so it was very fun.
Yeah, they don't play at Jackson State no more, do they? Or do they
I
still?
don't I don't think so. They've been going to Southern Miss a lot, I believe.
Yeah, I was finna say I thought they had switched up to Southern Miss because I never played it there. I went and played. I played the state championship in Alabama, so back in the day. So we played there, but didn't win. So it is what it is. We should have won, but what are some of your future goals you want to achieve in wrestling?
Um so I definitely wanna, as far as the independent scene, of course, the big goal is going big, of course. But I definitely want to make my way into Louisiana eventually. I'm going to Georgia, October the 4th. I just got booked for that. Me and Sammy both are going to Georgia. I want to make my way into Florida as well. Um, I mean, really, I just want to go, to some different promotions. Try and just make my way around.
Man,
Uh,
that's awesome. What promotions have you wrestled for?
so I
Because
mean,
I know we know Battle Zone, we know Lost Art, but
So
has
I've
there
been
been
to,
anywhere
of
else?
course, yeah, Battlezone, Lost Art, SWA. I've been to SWA. One show was kind of more of a private show. And then I done another show not too long ago. I wrestled the Black Ranger, number 2. And then this weekend coming up, me and Sammy have a singles match at SWA in Waynesboro.
Now that is Battlefront, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking I don't may not have nothing going on this weekend. I may ride down to Waynesboro. Waynesboro's not too far from my home, so
Yeah.
may
Waynesboro is
may
actually where I was born at. So that's where me and Paul both were born at. So
and what about Sammy? Wasn't he there too?
he was born in Brookhaven. So
Brookhaven.
yeah. So we've all really wanted to work in our hometown. So he's probably more or less gonna have to work at BIW, you know, for a
Yeah.
Brookhaven show. But luckily I'm getting to go to Waynesboro this weekend, so that'll knock that off my goals that I wanted to do.
Yeah, Waynesboro, you know, Waynesboro is where I actually trained at SWA.
Yeah.
Okay. And did a few shows for them, but under the management that is taking it over now, my return at SWA was in the Waynesboro at the building you'll be in this Saturday night, and I enjoyed that show. And yeah, SWA is a great promotion too. All right, so is those the only 3 promotions you've been to?
So I've been to GCW also, the Gulf Coast.
Gulf Coast.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I wrestled. Me and Paul actually had a tag match. I got the mask back on Paul, and we had a tag match against Gato and Cola.
Oh, exactly. Oh, you took on the Space Cats, one of my
Yeah,
clients.
oh yeah, they got us good.
So what did you think about being in the ring with Koloff and Gato?
Also, those are 2 people I just I've watched since I was a kid. I mean, I watched Gato a couple times in Alabama. I'm sure I've watched him in Mississippi many a times, like on shows where Paul was working. Uh, but I mean, just another good experience of stepping in the ring with people I grew up watching and just being around. So I loved it.
That's awesome. There you go, getting your name out there. The best Riot, Leo Riot. That's right. I've been trying to spread the word, man.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
trying to spread the word. The best Riot is right here, Leo Riot. All right. So you talked about some of the goals you were going to do to get out there, get into different promotions. Is there one promotion that just sticks out to you that it's like a real goal? You want to get there because it's a stepping stone.
Well, starting off, of course, Paul gave me that opportunity to come into LAW, and that's always been a company that I wanted to work for. But outside of that, SWA was a really big one, and I'm very blessed to have been booked there. Um, but besides them, I would probably say BIW is a very big one. 225, I've watched them. Uh, I believe LWA, Louisiana Wrestling Alliance, I believe is one. Combat. I mean, there's a lot of them. BIW is really the one that sticks out to me that I would want to work towards.
BIW is one of those pinnacles in the independent scene.
Yes,
Now,
yes, sir.
Kenny Atkins said the main goal is WWE, right? Well, yes. I mean, the main goal
For
is,
sure.
to get there. But I was just trying to, kind of talk about like local
Yeah,
independence.
yes, sir, yes,
It's
sir.
like BIW, I look as one of the premier promotions,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
and there's it's nothing but top tier talent. I mean,
right.
from top to bottom, every match can be a main event on that show. We got a plethora of great shows in the state of Mississippi. You got, like I said, you've got BIW, you've got SWA, Battle Zone, Crusade, the GCW. You have all these promotions just in and around our area, and we just got a lot of talent down through this way. Here we go. Have you ever watched any of the old school wrestling promotions like Mid South or WCCW? Now, when he says WCCW, I don't know. You may be too young to remember World Class Championship Wrestling.
Oh, I'm sure I've watched plenty of it with my brother. I watched so much wrestling growing up. It wasn't really. Of course, I watched WWE and things like that, but my brother liked watching different things than WWE. He's always, liked to watch something new. So I'm sure I've watched a lot of it.
Brandon, who is in your group now? There is no group. There is only one person, and that is Russian Destruction, Vladimir Koloff, that I manage now. It's called Brilliant Destruction. So that's all I'm managing right now is Vladimir Koloff. Yeah, Steve D, I got to tell you something about the kid, man. I just got to tell you this. He was not born he was barely born when AEW started. So all he really knows is WWE, AEW, TNA.
I'm 20. I just turned 20. So
I know that's what I said.
yeah,
You're still a
very
baby.
very young.
Yeah, you're still a baby. But you got a lot of room to grow. But you do need to go back and check out some of that old school stuff. I used to love watching New Japan Pro Wrestling back when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, probably about 94, 93, 94, I was watching, New Japan Pro Wrestling and ECW and WWF and uh, WCW and stuff like that, NWA.
Yeah, my
Is
brother
Sammy
Paul.
is Sammy your brother? Yes, Sammy is his brother, Kenny.
No, so Samuel's actually my nephew.
Nephew.
Yeah, Paul's my brother. Samuel's my nephew. Sammy's my nephew.
All that family stuff. All riled
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Pretty much just brothers. I mean, that's just what it is at the end of the day.
Might as well just say brothers
Yeah.
because I mean And Sammy walks around like he's the greatest thing walking on earth, you know. And I can understand where, you know, he treated you the way he did.
Yep.
So,
All throughout training, you know, it's because the people that trained me, you know, Sammy, Paul, Eric Black. That's who trained me there. You know, all throughout training, Sammy was just downgrading me. Just he seen the talent and didn't like it. He didn't want it to happen.
because you were going to go past him.
That's what it was. So,
Jealousy, man. Jealousy will eat you up. Let's see here. What happened to JT? JT is taking a break right now, but you never know. He pops back up. JT's always welcome to, you know, be managed by the brilliant one. No doubt there. They cut some great promos back then. Do you do a lot of promos to get under your opponent's skin? Question from Steve D.
I don't. I have not done a lot of promos, honestly. I've done some small things. I plan on starting to do more, of course. Just to, I know it's necessary at a point. So I do plan on starting to do more and get more into that.
Well, you should, but you also got a manager.
Yeah, yeah.
He can do the
I don't
talking
have to
for you.
speak too much. You know, I don't
Right.
have to speak a lot.
He can do the talking for you. You go in there and just take care of business. That's what you need to do. But yeah, Paul always cut some great promos back in the day. Sammy, well, he's Sammy.
I will say this on a serious note. I just told Sammy this last night. He showed me a promo that he's cutting on me for SWA, and if he would just cut all of his promos just like this one, they would be great. They would be great. Samuel just speaks very soft, so
Yes. How you
it
doing?
just sometimes his promos look,
Uh,
you know, pretty soft.
hey, how you doing? Yeah. Uh, hey, Leo. Hey, yeah. No, you know, I did the 450 splash out there. But Kenny wants to know who's a top talent you want to face.
So I have a lot. I actually made a
Well,
list
give
before I
me
started.
give me top five though. But anyway, continue on.
All right, we'll give you top five. As far as like independent scene and everything.
Yes,
Um,
independent scene.
so I know one that I'm not gonna be able to because he's gonna retire, but Jeremiah was always a big one. Lucha Lacora is one that I wanted to get in there with. Let's see. Steve Anthony. That's one that I always watch, and I'm just amazed every single time.
Well, Steve's
Um,
a great talent.
oh yeah, yeah. Exodus Prime. I don't know if you know him.
Oh
But
yeah, I know him
oh
very
yeah,
well. I had him on one of my shows. Yeah.
he's I watched him against Steve actually at LAW, and it was, you know, a great match. Let's see. Um, Starboy Charlie. Do you know who he is?
No, I don't know about Starboard Charlie. Where's he out of?
He wrestles GCW some. Let's see. He wrestles some pretty big. I believe he's been the House of Glory also.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he's more on a bigger scene of independence, but he's pretty good. I like watching him.
Kenny says, who would you want to face, or if you could face some WWE talent, who is it?
Uh, so them being associated with WWE because they're in TNA now. Jeff Hardy, of course, that would always be my top. But actually in WWE on their roster, probably AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
I could have guessed that one, I think. But you know, you brought up Steve Anthony, like that dude is been all over the world. I don't understand how he never got signed. He is just one of the
Yeah,
great talents.
I believe he could go in any promotion right now and just be a
Yeah.
top talent. You know.
Yeah, I mean he's found the fountain of youth. Like he is just killing it. But And you brought up Jeremiah. Man, I've been around Jeremiah many, many times, and yeah, just an exceptional talent. And his career is winding out this year, which is wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
20
crazy to think about.
years. 20 years in the business, and it's winding down now. Let's see what Stephen D's got to say, or Steve D's got to say. I haven't seen you in action yet, but are you a high flyer or more of a technical wrestler? He's a high flyer, but he can do some
For sure.
technical moves. But I'll let you answer that one.
I mean, you got it right. I try to throw technical stuff in there sometimes. I definitely work on it and want to do more. It's just getting in there, feeling comfortable with who you're with, and then being able to move around with you while you're doing the technical stuff. That's just the harder part. So
Well, Kenny Atkinson says he fought Tommy Dreamer. Let me just say this, Kenny. Since we got a kid on the show, I'm not saying it, but I'm gonna just say you couldn't wrestle your wee wee out of your pants, much less fight Tommy Dreamer. He probably beat your butt if you fought him. But anyway, and I'm just saying that out of niceness, Kenny. But anyway, I know Steve D. Steve D's always got a lot of good questions to ask, and he's seen Paul several times in action. As a matter of fact, I believe Steve, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Steve. You was there the night that Paul, Charles, and Vladimir fought in a triple threat. Loser leaves, and it was Paul that had to leave that night, and it was for the DCW Heavyweight Championship. Back with, yep, there it was. Back in 2019, or it was 2019. Yes, you were. I cut a backstage promo with Tommy Dreamer. Well, that's a difference in. Oh, that's Steve D. That's Steve D. Never mind. That's Steve D. I am banned, Suge. What can I say, man? I'm banned. They banned me. Somebody reported me, but I'm on here on YouTube, baby. Leo's a top rising star. You know who Suge White is?
oh yeah, I've met him a couple times, man. Good
Oh, he's
dude.
a beast, man. That you don't want to cross him in our dark alley.
Oh
You know,
no.
I used to wrestle, Brandon. We all used to wrestle. That was one of the best matches of all time. Yeah, that triple threat was on fire. It was.
They had some really, really good matches down there.
Yeah, I'm making people cry, and I guess they're reporting me. But I'm hoping that this appeal for Facebook, will get me my Facebook back. Otherwise, I'm gonna be creating another one tomorrow, or trying to. I don't know if it even let me do that, but we're gonna try it. All right, hold on, Leo. We gotta entertain something here for a second. So, Kenny, you fought Tommy Dreamer. Tell me some other matches you was in. Like, where did you wrestle at, Kenny? Type it in for me, baby. Type it in. I want to know. Type in promotions and everything. All right, Leo, getting back. We'll step back out of kayfabe for a minute, because there's one person that I do respect a lot and appreciate, and that's Paul. And I know that he puts in the right time and training with y'all, and I've always been honored anytime that I was on a Lost Art Wrestling show. And as I was there the other night in Florence, Mississippi, and I climbed the ladder and pulled that belt down. I don't understand, man. Like, I pulled the belt down. Wes Warren's the champion. Why couldn't I be the champion? Don't you think that I deserve to be the champion?
It makes sense. I mean, you did get the belt, climb down.
I mean, I took Ray Fury out. Did you see what I did to Ray?
I seen it.
I
I
did the
mean, that was
3-1.
a
I did like a Death
tremendous
Valley
job.
driver. Yeah, I did a Death Valley driver off the top of the ladder with Ray on my shoulders. And then I climbed up that ladder and grabbed that belt and was getting down to hand it to my client, Vladimir Koloff. And then, bam! Wes Warren.
Wes is not nice. He's not nice.
He
He's
don't
not
play
nice.
nice with people. No, he
He's
does
not
not.
nice.
JCW Michigan. What's JCW stand for, Kenny? And who did you wrestle up in there? What years did you wrestle? Give me some time frames there. Steve, them people saw. Nah, it
He saw.
should. That's what I'm saying. Who saw?
He talking
I
about
know
the
you
people
ain't
on.
talking about
He's
me.
talking about the people on Facebook.
Oh yeah, they are. Them people also. Look, dude, I made a guy cry, and then he told me he took drama classes or something. Oh, you don't understand. I took drama classes. I wasn't really crying. I was trying to get sympathy from the boys. 2007 to 2009. So how old was you when you wrestled in 2007, 2009? Like 60? Shoot. Whatever Steve said, be crying. Oh, yeah. Well, we know who they are. They're pitiful people that's been crying, man. You know, ain't nobody got a sack no more. It's just nowadays it's, oh, he hurt my feelings. Vampiro. You wrestled Vampiro. 17. 17. All right, Kenny, you gonna have to send me some of these pictures of you wrestling Vampiro. I'm gonna just have to see those pictures. Suge, you seeing this as Kenny Atkinson, man? He's been wrestling since he's 17. You want to take on Suge, Kenny? I can book that match. I can book it, but yeah, getting on that, like, Paul shows are just so different, and in a good way. Like, they bring that oomph to it, and I enjoy being there. Well, thank you, Kenny. Any more big names you took on in the ring? I'm getting interested by this. I won't mention names, Brandon. Someone who wears a hat might go off on me for bringing up the usual suspects. Hey, look, Steve D. I'm gonna message you here in just a second because you got to go check something out. Like, before my Facebook got suspended this morning, I caught something on Facebook. And dude, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, you took on Shaggy Dog, Kenny? Yeah, I'm gonna send you. We're gonna talk when I get off the show here in a minute. Shaggy Dog. You mean Shaggy Too Dope from the Insane Clown Posse? Is that who you trying to say? Oh yeah, them eyeballs are gonna be popping up. I meant to text you this morning, but yeah, the Facebook got suspended. I was gonna send you the pictures I had seen. Violent J and Shaggy Too Dope. Okay, the Insane Clown Posse. So you wrestled? No, when you said JCW, you saying you wrestled for Gigolo Championship Wrestling? Oh no, man. Come on now. Come on, Kenny.
He trying
Yes,
to troll you.
he is trying to. He's trying to troll me. But hey, can't. All right, let me ask you this, Kenny. Do you know what this means? You can't work a worker. We'll just see if you know what that means. Gigolo, that's what I said. Oh, Steve D said Gigolo. Yeah, it's Gigolo Championship Wrestling. It's the Insane Clown Posse did it. Go check it out, Steve. You can look it up on like YouTube here. Because obviously you're watching YouTube because that's the only where you can watch this. You're a hardcore wrestler. Okay, I got it. But Gigolo, it don't matter. It ain't neither one. Juggalo, yeah, it's Juggalo. Let's see here. Yeah, Juggalo, as Shook says here in Detroit. Like I said, Kenny, if you knew what I said just a minute ago, you could explain it to me, but apparently not. All right, anybody got any questions for Leo? Shook, come on, give me a question for Leo. I know you got a question for him. So we got a few more things to talk about. We're we're gonna start wrapping up here in a second. There you go, drinking Yankees. Oh, let's see. Did he wrestle for Gene? Yeah, Gene was from Detroit or up in Michigan, not Detroit. Gene Miller. Did you ever wrestle with Gene Miller, Kenny Atkins? I know what you mean. Well, you didn't explain what I meant. That's what I wanted you to do. When is Leo gonna go solo? Yeah, Leo, when you gonna go solo? When would you like a match with Suge White?
I mean, we can do it. We can do it. I am solo at SWA. That's I'm sure if I go to any other company, I'm sure I'd be on my own also. But right now, just LAW and Battle Zone. That's where the Lost Cause is.
Okay, so look at that. Look at that show. He can go solo. So Kenny, you wrestled Gene. You wrestled Gene Miller. Uh-oh. No, you won't face anyone. You won't face anyone. There's a lot of people that's taller than you. You won't face anyone. Would you rather tag or do solo?
I mean, I enjoy both. I really That's kind of a hard. I've started to enjoy tagging more, but solo matches, single matches. I mean, you can't beat that, in my opinion. Uh, it's just you. You don't have no help. There ain't nobody right behind you. It's just you. You're working. That's how I prefer it. So,
Awesome. Kenny says he did face Gene Miller and lost. Well, Kenny, what state and what company did you take on Gene Miller in and lost? I got to know that. I like seeing you solo because I really, don't have much good to say about your tag partner, Eric Black. I got along with Eric for a long time. And then he had to do what he did at that show that night. And I just ain't really had, I mean, it's not like I wish nothing, I wish him nothing but the best. Oh my God. So you fought him in Michigan. You forgot the company. Was it a hardcore match? And have you ever fought, him anywhere else? Why is Sammy ducking and ducking this fade from
but
Shook? Because he is.
Sammy's scared. He's always scared. I had to beg him for a match, so I'm sure he's running from you also.
Yeah. Well, if Sammy knows what's best for him, he will run from Shook. All right, let's see.
Sammy, have I done any hardcore?
Or a cage.
I haven't done a cage. I've had like a TLC match pretty much. We, I haven't done too much hardcore. Taking a couple of chairs and kendos and ladders, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, I've been in a cage. I've been
I
beat
wouldn't
with
mind.
Kenny.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a cage match. I think I could do
Matter of
something there.
fact,
Yeah.
Kenny Atkinson was at that cage match that I got beat by Vladimir Koloff in, which it was a solid steel warfare. It was 5-on-5, but Vladimir Koloff beat me with the belt. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Kenny, you helped set the cage up for that match. You came in and helped set up. As a fan, you came out there and helped set up. I know you was there, Steve D. I know you was supporting Brilliant Ink, baby. You was wanting us to win. You was wanting us to beat that old man, wasn't you? All right, so where did you beat Gene Miller? Where else did you beat him besides Michigan at the company you don't know? But anyway, I've been in the cage. I've been beat with kendo sticks. So I know exactly how that goes. And man, that was a highlight of my career, but I didn't want to. Didn't want to get
Yeah, I
back in that
definitely.
cage again.
That's definitely probably been one of my favorite matches. Is my ladder match that I had. So
Yeah, I was in a ladder match and won, and then got jumped as I got down. So
right, they didn't give you the belt. I don't understand it honestly. So
I mean, it would have been a great moment that night. Like I come down, got the championship. I go to the back. I see Leo and Eric, new crowned Lost Art of Wrestling Tag Team Champions. We celebrate, greatness that night. That would have been great. But no, West Warren knocks me in the back and steals the belt from me. Now, he wouldn't have done it to my face. He had to do it to my back. You see. So
yeah, I mean, your feet touch the ground with the belt. So I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I would
now
file a complaint to LAW. Is what
I
I would
need
do.
to file. I do need to file a complaint. And I heard Ray Fury filed a complaint, and Ray Fury had what did he have to gripe about? He just lost.
I mean, you got the belt. He should have fought you back. You know, if you done the Death Valley driver to him,
Yeah.
he should
I
have
mean,
reversed it. You know,
look, these 24-inch pythons right here, baby.
I'm trying to tell you, he should have
Yeah,
reversed it.
he couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Let's see here. Well, Kenny, you ain't answered my question. Where else did you wrestle Gene Miller? Like what other states? What other companies, if you remember? And you still ain't named. Give me your top 3 matches. That's what I want to know. Who's your top 3 guys you faced? And don't say Shaggy, Two Dope, and Violent J either. You mean a Goober Great Ray Fury? Yeah, Goober Great. That's right. But yeah, man, like a ladder match is different too. Like who was in the ladder match you was in?
Oh, it was me and Eric against Sammy and Paul. So
Whoa! Where was this at?
this was at Battle Zone. This was for the
Oh, last night?
no. So
Oh,
this
okay.
was when we faced them in the ladder match. That was for the contract for the tag belts.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now I got you. So you had fun in that ladder match, huh?
Oh,
Because you
you know
won.
we won. That's all that matters. And they got beat up. So
It's always good when you get Sammy and Paul beat up. But
oh yeah.
all right, Steve Dixon, Shug, whoever else is left on here right now. Let's get some a couple more last questions in. I'm trying to wait for Kenny to answer my question. I think Kenny ran off. I don't think he could spell the other states that he wrestled
Hey,
G
I
Miller
will
in.
say this though. I will say this. So before we get off here and everything, I really feel like the companies not booking Sammy Riot are very stupid in my opinion. And I'm no not to be rude or anything, but I'm just being very honest. If you watch him in the ring and what he does, it will blow your mind most nights that you watch him. It don't matter who he steps in the ring with. Like an honest opinion here, the companies not booking Sammy Riot are ignorant, stupid. And I mean, I'm biased because it's my family, but on the like honestly, if you watch him and you don't want to book him, I don't know what's wrong with
Well, I'll just go ahead and say it's you're dumb if you don't want to book any of the rides, yourself included. Sammy is great. I've been, like I said, I've been around saying I booked Sammy on a show. You need to ask Sammy about this. I mean, he may have said it. You may have been there. Heck, I don't know. I booked a show at CWL one night, and it was in Waynesboro, and I had, set it up and sold out the front row with just people coming to watch Sammy. And I put Sammy on first. I think first or second. He was first. Yeah, he was first on the show. Man, dude, they tore the house down and opened a match. Love Sammy. And then I lost my front row because they all left after Sammy's match.
Man.
But I will say this: Sammy is he is a great talent, and he knows I've always thought highly of him as a
Oh, yeah,
talent.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know,
And
originally me coming in, whenever I came into wrestling, I don't think I've said this to anybody, honestly, but I wasn't supposed to come in as a Riot. I actually had a whole different gimmick, whole different persona. I didn't. I want to make it a point to not use my brother, like his career, to grow my career. I that was my whole point. I had like I said, a whole different gimmick, and it just didn't. I bought gear and everything, and got scammed out of some money, so it just didn't work out.
go ahead and tell me about that. We need to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, I honestly think we should talk about that. So I don't like any of the drama. I'm not here for it, but I will
Well,
say
this is
this.
not drama. This right here is the
No,
truth. This is
this is
fact.
facts. This is true. I mean, I sent this man $475. What I sent him, for my gear, which was a mask, a pair of tights, and I believe kick pads. I believe that's what it was. So $475 I sent this man. Paul sent him, I believe, 300 something. It was around 1,000 for what we both spent. Right around 800, something like that. So we wait on this man, Corey Phillips. I'm sure everybody who has gotten scammed feels the same way about this man. But we spent a lot of money, and this right here that I have on, he made this. He's made Paul's gear, made Sammy's gear. I mean, he has good work. I don't know what happened. He made several lies up to us about it. We never got our gear, never got our money back. I mean, he's just ghosted us. I mean, Paul's texted him, tagged him, and Paul's known the man for a while. He trusted him
Well,
enough.
you're not the only ones either.
Oh,
It's not like you're the only ones that's been
no.
scammed in this matter. Because every time I see somebody's name pop up on, oh man, I didn't get my gear. I've spent money on this, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been trying to get up with him for a year. He's ghosted me. He's blocked me now. There's no telling how much money he's took.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
and Kenny, when he says 400 for these things, it means multiple stuff,
yeah.
not just one thing. It's just
And
it's
it's
multiple.
good gear. It's good work. I mean,
Well,
he
it's good
had great
quality
work.
stuff. Look, the dude has good quality. You're not knocking him for that.
Mm-hmm.
What you're knocking him for is how he's done you when you put out your money and didn't get the product that you paid for and that you wanted. Because everything I've seen him do is top notch work.
Yeah.
And it looks phenomenal. But when you pay for something and you don't get it, and he's been called out by several people.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
I've seen
still see,
Facebook. There's a lot of people that's calling him out about it.
yeah, there is. And I still see names of him coming out. Like I still see people that he's jipping now that,
Yeah.
maybe you're not in circles with, but he pops up on my Facebook and I'm like, this dude is still bamboozling people.
Mm-hmm. He hadn't texted us back in forever. I mean, it's been a while. We kind of just gave up on it. It'd be nice to have the money back, but it's okay. So
Yeah, at least get that back. I mean, it
yeah.
didn't get no product.
And the thing is, like, so whenever it came time to give us our gear, he never sent us pictures or anything. And then he finally told us, he would give us our money back. So we're like, okay, we waited 2 weeks, about 2 weeks for him to get the money and send it to us, and it never came, and pretty much never texted us back since then. So, yeah.
That's just wild, man. That is wild. All right, we're about to start wrapping up here in just a minute. If you want to give out, you got any more questions? Anybody got anything to ask Leo? I'm fixing to start wrapping down here in just a second. And before we do, you talked about Sammy being one of the best talents out there. There's no doubt. I've always praised Sammy. And I've always enjoyed. Me and Sammy have always talked every now and then. We'll, run back. And since I got back into wrestling, and I met come back to Law and saw him at Law, and me and him's been talking nonstop. He's one of those guys that wants to get out there. He wants to do stuff. He wants to get noticed. And I think if Sammy got noticed, he would have a job somewhere. But he's got to put some weight on. And
I will tell you this right now. Sammy's I know I don't know if I'm pretty sure he was tuned in watching Frankie, and he didn't take no offense to it. Of course, I didn't take no offense to it. I need to gain weight myself, but it was it was him. I believe he was like just saying that need to get more of a wrestler's body on you, and which is very understandable. And Sammy's working. I will say that. I won't say too much, but he is working. He's getting there, and he took that. He didn't take offense, but he took it seriously enough to start working towards it.
well, I think what Sammy did was he didn't take offense to it. He looked at his motivation.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
he drove himself to it. Kenny says Sammy is one of the best high flyers he's seen. Right or wrong, Leo?
For sure. Oh yeah. Yeah,
No
Sammy,
doubt.
he's very talented. Everything I've learned is I give him credit for, because he's been right there beside me whenever I'm like, hey, I want to try something new. He's like, okay, let's go. Like, he puts trust in me the same way I put trust in him. I mean, every time we step in the ring, I honestly feel like we just get better. Every single time we get in the ring with each other, it's just learning, trying to get better, and understand, the business, the ring. It's just a process of learning. That's really we enjoy it.
All right. So as year one approaches you, what do you have in store for year two?
Oh, so definitely as far as like physically, I definitely want to get some weight on me. I'm 145 right now, and I'm about 6 foot, so I look slim. You know, I want to get to about 175 on the leaner side, so I can still move around and jump around. But I definitely want to get bigger, because I feel like that is a key part of getting noticed. But also, like I was saying earlier, I want to expand out, go to different companies. The GCW, of course, I want to go back there. BIW, I want to make a debut there. I want to continue working with SWA, LAW, Battlezone. Um, and like I said, I'll have my debut in Georgia in October. Uh, and I plan on, continuing to work with, I believe it's Hope Championship Wrestling, out of Georgia, and they're a Christian based business company. So working with companies like that, I really enjoy it. So definitely just getting out there. Year two will just be getting more out there, getting noticed more. I feel like I've had a good first year. I'm not satisfied with it. I feel like I could have done more, but I definitely think it's been pretty good.
That's awesome, Leo. Kenny Atkinson says, if y'all tag again, talking about you and Sammy, you should try 450 off your shoulders.
Oh, me and Sammy, I feel like honestly, if we did tag, we would definitely be trying something like that.
Keep up the good work. I say you're getting really far with your career. Man, you got a bright star. There's no doubt.
Thank you.
I always talked very highly of Paul, very highly of Sammy. Still do. You know, I can go watch Sammy anytime, and I'm enjoyed. And I like just me and Sammy. I just like talking to Sammy. I think me and you and Sammy kind of need to sit down and just have a talk
Oh yeah.
together. And I enjoy the Riots. I look at the Riots as one of the top families in the independent South around here. They're great, and Lost Art of Wrestling is one of the top promotions. Now, before we go, because we're about to get ready to wrap up, I think if we got any more questions. Brandon, you still owe me tickets. Yes, I do. I'll get you some tickets. I haven't been around wrestling in a year until a few months ago, but yeah, we'll get you some tickets to something else. Matter of fact, I'll talk to you later, Kenny, and we'll get you something set up. But because I'd offered Mr. Kenny some tickets to my show back in the day when I was offering, yes, as a wedding present. I did, as you got married. Are you still married? Or is she finally got smart? MCW tickets. Do they sell tickets at MCW? I don't know. But we'll get you something set up as soon as we can and get you those tickets. But before we do get out of here, man, I hope I hope you enjoyed coming on. I hope you enjoyed doing this.
Yes, sir.
The wife is doing good. We'll tell her I said hey. And how many years has it been? 2? Has it been 2 years now that y'all been married? But anyway, before we get out of here, go ahead. The floor is yours. Plug any kind of social media, anything like you got a YouTube where you can watch your matches and all that. Man, Kenny, my wife, she's doing great, man. She's doing great. We're having fun.
Oh, so all the social media is just my name, Leo Riot. Instagram, I believe Twitter's the same. Instagram, Facebook's the same.
What's
Leo
Twitter?
Riot.
Hold on.
Everything's the same. So it's all just Leo Riot.
What's Twitter?
Or X.
There you go. Get it right now.
There
There's no Twitter. And that's like Vine. Vine don't exist no more. Neither does Twitter. It's X.
Right. TikTok
I
also. I got TikTok. It's Leo Riot. So everything's pretty basic. Just my name.
Well, do you have any merchandise? Do you have Pro Wrestling Tees store or anything like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Pro Wrestling Tees, I have some of just me on there. We also have some Lost Cause tees on there. And I should be. I was actually talking with Sammy and Paul not too long ago. I wanted to start getting some shirts and stuff to set up at the merch table, so I'll probably be doing that pretty soon.
Awesome. Yeah, do that. Get that set up. What I did was, and I had a Pro Wrestling Tees from my old podcast, King of Wrestling Podcast. I did the bulk order on Pro Wrestling Tees and got some shirts in, and now I got a Brainbuster Tees. Matter of fact, that brings that up. Let's do that plug. Go get you a T-shirt or a hat at brainbustertees.com, The Brilliant Show. And just check it out and get that going on. And check it out on brilliantshow.com as well. You can subscribe to us right here on YouTube. But, like, I got hats, I got stickers, I got shirts. This is one of the shirts right here, by the way. I know the green screen kind of blends in with it, but
Yeah.
Hey, you saw it in person. I wore it to the Lost Art of Wrestling show, I believe.
Yeah, I seen it.
So, yeah, I got stickers and all kinds of stuff. So come check it out on brainbustertees.com, and then you can check out some of my other stuff on prowrestlingtees.com.
Yes,
But
sir.
thank you for joining us. Leo, had a blast with you tonight, my friend. I hope
Yes,
you
sir.
enjoyed.
Thank you.
You stay right there. Don't forget to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, and Audible, and many more. Give us that 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Also, thebrilliantshow.com, which if you're on YouTube right now, you're at thebrilliantshow.com. So there you go. Tomorrow night, we got Jack Passion from DCW. Like I said, Leo, thanks. Yes, Steve D, you do have your shirt. I showed your picture on there with it. But, Leo, thank you for coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliant Show. We got Jack Passion tomorrow night, Jay Smiles Tuesday night, right here on the Brilliant Show. We'll see y'all later. You hang in there, Leo, for just a second.
Lights blaze bright, it's a glorious sight. The champ of the mic owns the night. With With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the Brilliant One.